beautifully for.
Oh, he's bowled in.
Beautiful.
And there it is.
An innings of authority.
Wow, what about this?
Does he get enough? You bet he does. West Indies strikes again.
The Kensington Oval, Barbados. An iconic, vibrant venue ready for the second encounter in this Apex Test Series between the West Indies and England. Antigua was a stalemate. 5 days of toil and perseverance failed to separate the two teams. Joe Root needs no reminder of his last 2 visits to Barbados. England was skittled for 77 in 2019 and 123 in 2015 as they suffered under the palm trees. This is a pivotal test in this 3-match series. It promises to be captivating. Bright sunshine and the result, venue Kensington Oval in Barbados for the start of the second Apex Test match between the West Indies and England.
Some movement early from Kemar Roach. This is exactly what he did in that first test, from around the wicket to the left-hander. And just look at that seam position. First runs off the bat for Alex Lees, first runs for England.
Well, that'll make him feel better. Poor delivery from Kemar, just got a little greedy, but it'll make Alex Lees feel much better about it. Knee doesn't get in the way, the bat has free access.
It's gone. A wicket for Jayden Seals. The early breakthrough. Exactly what they were looking for.
Yeah, that's exactly the area. The bowler can just draw you forward, get that little bit of movement away. Zach Crawley is not entirely sure how wide that delivery is, and in the end wasn't definite enough in pulling the bat out of the way. And that has cost him his wicket. He's gone for a 7-ball duck. It's 4 for 1.
Excellent delivery once again from Jayden Seals.
Yeah, good ball this. This one does angle in. Joe Root had to think about playing it.
Magnificent from Joe Root. Absolutely smashed that one.
He made that look easy, didn't he? First time we've seen West Indies bowler test the middle of the pitch, and he was greeted with this. Mentioned 1994. Shades of Alex Stewart and the double tons here at Kensington Oval that led England to that famous victory.
Huge appeal from Jayden Seals and the West Indies. Not interested, umpire Nigel Duguid. The customary conversation to decide whether or not to review it, and he's decided to go for it.
Thank you, Nigel. Player review for LBW. TV umpire to director. We have a player's review for LBW. The original decision given is not out. Front foot check. Fair delivery established. Can we move on front on, please? Doesn't appear to be any bat involved, but I need Ultredge to confirm whether bat on ball. Ultredge coming up. So flat line as the ball goes past the bat. Satisfied there's no bat involved. Can we move on to ball tracking when ready? It's pitching outside off. Impacts in line. Wickets missing. I'm going to go back to Nigel on field. Nigel, I'm going to ask you to stay with your original not out decision. You're on screen now. Make your signal.
It's nicely played. Just timed away straight down the ground through mid-off. And that's one of those ones that counts as a confidence booster for Alex Lees. Nice position, just out of the crease to start with. Gets himself into a nice crouch position, waiting to the shot. Oh, drops short. Finds the edge, but drops short of Jason Holder. Frustration for Roach. 16 for 1. Yeah, it's just that little bit of movement, but soft hands, the old soft hands do the trick. It's a nice shot. My word, that's a nice shot. Again, there was that hint of swing, but there was width and it was too full as well. Joe Root's eyes lit up, but it was quite a stretch to get there.
Certainly played it well in the end, Captain Root. There's a hint of swing for Joseph, but a little bit too full. And Joe Root was equal to the task. Good stride in.
Oh, that's edged through, over, past the slips cordon. It goes running away to third man for 4. That stretch this time not as good as the previous one.
A little bit streaky this time from Joe Root. Went for the drive, took the outside edge, way over the slip cordon. No chance at all.
An appeal, I think, for the catch. Joe Root was outside the line for any LBW call, and again, bounce would have taken it over the top, but just inquiring as to whether or not there's an inside edge there as well. They've already burnt one review against Joe Root. They don't burn another one. 36 for 1. Vintage. If Kamal bowls plenty today, you'll see plenty of that.
I'll come for lessons later. I'll come for lessons later. I won't do that. Oh, don't charge me too much for the lessons though. Over and lunch.
But anyway, Alex Lees survives the session. Good confidence builder for him to survive the 2 hours at the start of this second test match. Joe Root looks in flying form again. Some lovely touches from him today. 31 from 80. It's 47 for 1 as we take lunch on day 1.
Good overrating this session for the West Indies, just a solitary wicket. They've managed to strangle the Englishmen in terms of the scoring rate as well, the West Indies. So I think both teams will be pleased with the morning's effort. Joe Root unbeaten, along with the opening batsman Alex Lees. And the solitary wicket to fall, that of Zach Crawley, and caught Joshua Da Silva of the bowling of Jaden Seals for no score. Both Lees and Joe Root unbeaten on 16 and 31 respectively, 47 for 1 after the first session. And bowling for the West Indies, Seals the only successful bowler so far, 1 for 6 from 7 overs, quite economical. And Kemar Roach, and Joseph Pumol and Holder all tried, but nothing to show for it just yet.
Very compact push drive from Root. Excellent from Craig Brathwaite, keeping it to 2. 52 for 1. Dropped it. I think it fully carried, and I think it was bat. Roach is down more in disappointment than anything.
Would have been a good catch. Never easy taking the catch down the leg side, moving away to your left. Oh, in and out. The silver couldn't quite hold on, came off the face of the bat. Despair, disappointment for Kemar Roach.
Brilliantly fielded. Truly top class from Jermaine Blackwood.
Stopped it just after the ball went past him. Had he collected cleanly, could have been a possible chance for a run out.
Squeezed away for 4, rare bad ball from Roach. Brings up the 50 partnership between Lees and Root. 57 for 1.
Beautifully clipped by the England captain. Not disorientated at all by our spinning drone. You stray at Joe Root in the mood that he's in at the moment, you will go to the fence.
He's angling down the leg side, but Joe Root really in fine touch.
But he will drive in front of square. Glorious.
I tried to bluff Joe Root, but the fielder's back on the one side on the boundary, ball full. And Joe Root was having none of it. And very competently and confidently played. And textbook Joe Root cover drive. Good bit of timing as well. So he will look to score. He will try to get on with things. Ducked into that one. Didn't keep his eyes on the delivery, smashed into his helmet, and we'll go through the concussion protocol, as is the case. And it's just to make sure that he's okay. So they'll go through a series of questions, I suppose, Mark?
Yeah, absolutely. It's good from Jaden Seals, though. We hope that, of course, that Alex Lees is okay, but this is exactly what I've been calling for. You find yourself in a situation where you're struggling to make the ball move sideways, then you've got to rough batters up in the time-honoured tradition of West Indies fast bowling.
Hit, John.
Half century number 54 in test matches for the England captain Joe Root. Only 3 away from the leading half-century maker, Sir Alistair Cook, who stands at 57.
The entire crowd, because it is a home crowd for Joe Root, as they sing his name around the Kensington Oval. 54 50s, 24 hundreds, 6 centuries in 2021. He's carried on where he's left off.
Virasamy Pamod strikes. They will think about a review, but if it stands, it's a wonderful comeback for him after Antigua to get an early wicket. No review. It does stand. The breakthrough for Pramod.
Just about to say, Virasamy Pamod looks as though he's got a little bit more energy on it. He looks as though he's got a little bit more revs on it, and he's bowled that beautifully. It's just angled back into the left-handed batsman. Looking at the naked eye, the right decision was made, not just by the umpire, but by Lees as well. He's got to go for 30, and England are 80 for 2.
Again, good feeling, good commitment. Seen it more than once this morning from Jermaine Blackwood, especially.
Dan Lawrence, he'll be disappointed he didn't put this one away. Just bounced a little bit on him, but short and wide. Again, commitment this morning.
Does sweep. Didn't take too long for Root to climb into an ill-directed one.
Joe Root's been waiting for this, just waiting for the ball that just drifts down leg side, leg slip in play, nobody at 45. Square leg, a lot straighter. And for a player like Joe Root, who hits the sweep very, very well.
That's nicely timed. Rolls away across the advertising carpets, that's what they are. Very nicely timed. 100 comes up, 101 for 2.
Good firm stroke from Lawrence. Over pitch delivery from Jason Holder. And John Campbell at mid-on had no chance whatsoever.
Well, it's another chase now for John Campbell, which he gives up on almost immediately. I'll take any money that we've not seen 2 boundaries hitting consecutive balls off Jason Holder in this series.
Very unlike Jason Holder. Another half volley on leg stump. This time to the right of the mid-on fielder, John Campbell. Didn't even bother to give chase. Would have been futile anyway. 2 good strokes.
He's going to have to hurry here, really has to hurry. Oh, if it had picked it up cleanly and got a flick in there, that could have been mighty tight. But John Campbell, trying to cut off that quick single, just fumbled the effort at the last moment, and Dan Lawrence would have thought he was in trouble pretty much all the way down there.
Certainly was a risky single. Ah, had he collected that ball, John Campbell, Lawrence would have been in serious trouble.
This is one of the shots that Joe Root plays with such nonchalance off the spinner and with such great control as well.
He certainly is a good player of spin and fancy the sweep shot as well. He got a good stride in, got to the pitch and swept it away quite convincingly.
Nice footwork, nice connection, and nice carry as well. Brought them to life, brought smiles to faces.
First 6 of the match. Good use of the feet by Lawrence. Hardly any backlift at all. The timing was superb. Took it all the way over the boundary ropes for 6. Look at that, good use of the feet.
That's Root, that's pure Root. Shot he just loves to play, just lets it come to him, just guides it through the gap. Almost with laser precision.
By no means a bad delivery. It was a good delivery actually, a bit of bounce. But Joe Root is in such good form. Played it extremely late.
One of the few ones today that Pramod has dragged down short and wide, and Dan Lawrence has said, thank you, I've been waiting for that, and I will indeed take 4.
just a little bit short this time from Pamal, giving Lawrence a bit of width. Didn't time it as well as he would have liked, but still had enough legs.
Oh, nice little bit of grip. Nice bit of grip. Pitching on, straightening. Good spell from Virasamy Pamal. So players will troop off now. 20 minutes off before they come back and resume day one here at Kensington Oval in Barbados. Famous, famous ground. But it's 136 for 2, 89 runs for 1 wicket, just the 1 wicket in that session. So each session has seen a wicket fall. Alex Lee's the one dismissed in the afternoon session for 30. But England, let's remind you, England batting first by choice here today. Very flat looking pitch, and that's the way it's turned out. Very dry, lovely conditions for batting here today. Just that little slowness of the pitch, a slight distraction. So the card so far today. Crawley out first without scoring, trying to leave on the lone, but not quite succeeding. At least the one out in the afternoon session. 30 from 138 balls. We can chat about that at another time. Joe Root just looks as comfortable as ever. 80 for him from 171 balls. Dan Lawrence, nice and positive, 26 from 38. Still to come, the likes of Stokes, Bairstow, Folkes and Wokes. And just a reminder that making their debuts in this game, Fisher and Mahmood, their debuts in Test match cricket. So 136 for 2, comfortable position for England at tee here. The wicket takers, Seals got Crawley early on for a duck. Pamal had to wait a little bit longer for Lees, but he's got 1 for 41 as well. Roach, steady as ever, swinging that new ball, but wicketless. And, well, West Indies probably have quite a bit of work left to do in the field. That's a really good piece of fielding. Very quick to the ball, straight into the hand, up quickly to get the throw in as well. Jermaine Blackwood.
Yeah, it's been an excellent display of ground fielding from the West Indies. Not only have they backed their bowlers up very well, the energy that they've shown.
Ooh, a little risky, maybe a little risky, but it's on its way down to that third man boundary. There's enough pace on it to beat the chase from Shamar Brooks. These are the fine margins. Yes, there was a little bit of turn, a little bit of extra bounce there. Didn't quite come off the bat 100% as intended. Slip was suddenly interested. Oh, that's away in the gap. Well, while he's the subject of conversation, Joshua De Silva this time couldn't get across. Because Holder, of course, it's not Holder. Holder, well, the slip is wide anyway. Not Holder now. It was Jason Holder there before. But there is this huge gap. It basically comes off to the bottom edge, the toe edge. Oh, now there is. Oh, there could have been. There could still be. There might not be. Enormous trouble. We had a near run out for Dan Lawrence before tee, the other side of tee, and this was a complete mix-up. It nearly looked like they were going to have both men at the same end. Somehow they got away with it, 150 for 2. Nothing wrong with that, that's beautiful. That was just sweetly timed. Very much on the up with that little bit of width outside the off stump, but very, very positive.
It wasn't a bad length, but it was just a little bit wide from Alzari Joseph. And Lawrence waited, hit it on the top of the bounce. It was a fantastic shot, this. By England's number 4, growing in confidence, batting with Joe Root. Partnership going to 77. The England having a relatively slow start, 77 off 109 balls. Root and Lawrence. He's looking to cash in on anything that's either wide or over pitched.
At 4. Just for a moment there, you might have thought that was Joe Root on strike, because that's one of the shots right out of his playbook.
A beautiful shot by Dan Lawrence. In good cricket from England's number 4.
Well, that's not a bad response, is it? Joseph changed the angle of attack as well by going round the wicket. So all those men on the leg side, none of them were involved in this whatsoever.
One thing about having a clear plan, you can be predictable, and that's what Dan Lawrence is saying. Right, I'm getting right across the crease. There's no way I'm ducking this.
Oh, well, Joe Root, nice contact for Joe Root, straight to the man. Everything seemed to be under control. And then suddenly it wasn't. Would you believe it? It's John Campbell again, wherever he is, it seems. Whether it's mid-on or deep square leg, and Joe Root gets beautifully on top of this. They're rolling it down nicely. There we go.
That'll be 50 for Dan Lawrence. His 4th in his Test match career, his quickest as well. And what a bright future for this young man.
Certainly has a bright future, and the way he plays, very attacking, confident, and if as a bowler you're not unsung, he could punish you.
Another Test match 100 for England's captain. His 8th in the last 14 months. Just re-emphasizing the greatest period of batting in his long career. And so much more to come.
What a player. What a player. And he should enjoy it. He's having a golden run, as you said, Bridge, the last 14 months. 2nd Test match 100 in as many games in the series. Applause from his teammates. All smiles. What a player.
Holder looks at it. Roach at deep backward point looks at it. And it's Holder who has to retrieve it. 200 comes up for England. Another impressive boundary for Lawrence.
That certainly was a good shot. It wasn't a bad delivery by any means. Just went back on the back foot and stroked it through extra cover. The timing was superb.
There is that wide line. Oh, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Alzari Joseph finds himself at slip. He's probably at 1.5 slip. Did it make it?
Just short. Curtly Ambrose was mentioning a bit earlier about the positioning of the slip fielders.
Easy as you like.
Yeah, just helped along its way with that angle from around the wicket, outside off stump, and very adept at playing that particular shot. Joe Root. Very much in control.
No mistake that time. Beautifully punched away through extra cover. An impish innings this so far from Dan Lawrence. He moves to 67.
Very elegant in his stroke play. Dan Lawrence, uncomplicated, high elbows, full face of the bat. And ever since he's made his way out in the middle, he's looked quite fluent.
Oh, here we go again with the run-outs. But between them now, it's mostly been Dan Lawrence's fault. Between them now, I reckon that's 3 muck-ups. Very hard to get the throw away with any power when you're off balance like that. Oh, the edge flies and isn't taken. Just nibbled outside the off stump this time, so for Jayden Seales, the ultimate frustration. He's kept the effort high. That's got bounce there. It's got real bounce. All it needed was a safe pair of hands. It flew pretty quickly, but I'm afraid that is a palpable chance, and you can understand every little bit of Jayden Seales' frustration. Well, a little full, a little wide, but just imperious, isn't it? If it's there, it's got to go. That's the view for Dan Lawrence. And the 150 partnership comes up. Beautifully put away, just threaded through that gap between extra cover and mid-off. That new ball will travel. You get that sort of indication, that ball will indeed travel.
There is the half volley. There is the extra cover drive. And there is a boundary for Dan Lawrence.
Over-pitch delivery by Jason Holder. And the kind of form that Dan Lawrence is in, he wasn't going to miss out. Good stride in. Got to the pitch of that delivery. And stroke it quite nicely through extra cover. Appreciated by his teammates.
That's an absolute peach. On the up, down the ground. And quite rightly, they're on their feet.
Back-to-back fours again of Jason Holder's bowling. Second time in this innings so far. That was a pleasant drive. Just to the right of the diving mid-off. Young Jayden Seales had no chance. Takes Lawrence into the 90s.
Gone. Right at the close of day one. West Indies and Jason Holder stuck at it right until the end. And they have been rewarded with the wicket of Dan Lawrence, who has been brave, has been enterprising, who's been entertaining, but ultimately will be disappointed, bitterly disappointed, as he makes his way back to the dressing room for 91.
After hitting back-to-back fours of Jason Holder, went for another drive, didn't quite get hold of it, and hit it straight to short extra cover. Jubilation with Jason Holder. Yes, I deserve that. He's happy, Jason Holder. Disappointment for Dan Lawrence as he goes for 91.
Well, jubilation for a Holder right at the very death here in front of his home crowd, or at least his home ground anyway. One ball left of day one, but never mind the disappointment for Dan Lawrence. The ovation for England captain Joe Root as he skips up the stairs for a quite imperious 119 not out. Talked about Dan Lawrence and the fact that if he saw the ball there that he'd go after it, and he certainly did. Holder just held that one back a touch. Lawrence was ticking, the heart rate was up, and Holder kept his cool until the catch was pouched. West Indies will go through their warm downs, will look at that scoreboard and think, well, it's been a pretty flat pitch, it's been a pretty hot and unforgiving day, but we've only conceded 2.7 runs per over. We've picked up 3 wickets. We'll start with a new batter at the crease in the morning. One of those will be England captain Joe Root. But they will be able to congratulate themselves on a job or a task that was well stuck to. A lot of work for the bowlers, a lot of bowlers used, 7 in total for the West Indies. 1 wicket apiece for Seals. He picked up the first one. Zach Crawley must have been sat there thinking there are guys out there scoring my runs. He was dismissed for a 7-ball duck by Seals. Pamal also got in on the act, knocking over Alex Lees LBW for 30. It took Lees 138 deliveries to get those. And then Jason Holder, right at the end of the day, when you needed somebody to stand up, when everyone is wilting around you, it's the star all-rounder for the West Indies, Jason Holder, that picked up the wicket of Dan Lawrence. 243 for 3 with just the 1 delivery remaining here on day 1. And we will go into tomorrow with Ben Stokes and Joe Root at the crease.